Okay, it's recording.
Thank you, Beth.
So, Mark, what do we, under old business, Mark, I see here, proposed fiscal year 2021 annual town budget as of April 30th.
So it's the budget that FIPAC is sending to the public hearing.
Okay, what do
So
we have to do with it?
Nothing. It's just for your information, so you can where the budget is right now, and if you had any questions or discussion before the public hearing, have them now.
Thank you. So if you don't have one, board, get one, and if you'd like to peruse it, if you have questions, bring them up to FIPAC.
And we can mail them out to you if you'd like hard copies, because it's
I would really appreciate a hard copy.
okay. The whole board, you want us to mail?
I'm all set. I
Full
have it
budget?
already.
You do, Bill?
I have a hard copy already.
If you could mail me a hard copy, that would be good.
All right, so Judy, Lisa,
I could use one
Rob.
too.
and Rob. There he is.
There you are.
I'm here.
Okay, well, those will go out tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay, 6.1. So from the tax collector, in accordance with Connecticut's general statute 12-165, the suspension list is being submitted for approval. They are removed from consideration as assets for the town of Columbia. This keeps the collectible reporting as accurate as possible. These taxes are not abated, and we do collect the counts on the suspended list each year. The delinquent motor vehicles will remain blocked at DMV and will need to be paid before they receive clearance to register a vehicle. Submitted by Carol Price, our tax collector. So, bottom line is these people have moved out of state. They didn't pay their taxes, but they're gonna have to register their car. And I make the motion that we approve the tax collector's suspend list as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, Bill,
Yes.
Lisa,
Yes,
Judy,
Yes.
Rob.
Yes,
I vote yes, Stephen. Thank you. Now, 6.2. We have that abuts the Markel property that wants to be donated. The owners want to donate it to the town. So I'm going to make the following motion. Resolved that the Board of Selectmen does hereby recommend that the town accept the donation by Markel Properties of that certain 100 by 100 foot parcel of property located on Pine Street in accordance with that certain donation agreement between the Trust for Public Lands and the town of Columbia. The proposed acceptance of such donation be referred to the Financial Planning and Advisory Committee. The Financial Planning and Allocation Committee for its review prior to acceptance thereof, and to the Planning and Zoning Commission for its review under GCS 8-24. Mark, handle it, please.
This is a piece of property that's used to get into Markel. It's on Pine Street. It's the end of an old logging road. It's in between a horse riding stable and a house. And it's where I parked with the appraiser when we walked into that end of the Markel property. So Markel wants to, when selling the land to the state, they want to clear everything and they just want to give this piece of property away. The charter requires us to accept all gifts by a town meeting, which we cannot. So this is step one of the normal process. But since we can't do a town meeting, 3 weeks ago, we requested that the governor create an executive order that would allow the acceptance of gifts and things like this through the Board of Selectmen. We haven't received that executive order yet. So I want to get step one done. With this closing is on May 28th or 29th. And we're hoping to have an executive order any moment. But this would be step one in the Board of Selectmen agreeing, approve it at their committee, Planning and zoning, yes, planning and zoning will review it. And also 5-pack will just give it a cursory review as well.
Rob, are you familiar with this property?
Yeah, it's right on the corner, a big sharp turn on Pine Street. It
There's a
sits right
few.
there where the old road used to be.
By,
By the right.
all right.
It's, I mean, potentially could be a parking area for future, and then you'd have to get some sort of, well, I mean, the old road's there, although the people have kind of obliterated it. You probably remember it.
Is that Orlowski's area there? Is that
Yeah, Orlowski's kind of graded it all out. But the road used to be there. So this would be, potentially, could be a place to park and then walk into the place.
Walk into the state forest when it's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Potentially, I don't know. I mean, there's issues with Orlowski.
There's a lot of issues with Pine Street and those horrible curves for parking and having anybody go down there. Those curves, the way Pine Street, the top of Pine Street extension, that's a dangerous curve.
I
wouldn't-
see it.
The good thing is this is right on the curve, so actually you'd be able to see at the spot because you're looking both ways. I mean, you have to look at it. It's just.
I'm talking about the farm.
Have the camera.
Big red maple tree at the top of the hill. That
Oh,
is a
yeah.
curve.
Yep, they're not on the curve.
Yeah.
Rob, what kind of issues are there going on with this property?
Well, there's the old road is theoretically still there. It's just the Orlowskis have just, over history, have just kind of graded it out, make it look like it's their property. No, there, I don't believe. It probably falls under all those other roads. But you have to look into it.
So is there a downside with this, in doing this?
I don't think so.
My concern would be a dispute over title. But
I haven't done any research on that property, so I don't know, except I think Mark Keller originally bought it because he thought it would give him some more authority to build a road going in there. Because that would give him a little wider entrance right there on Pine Street. Kind of answering what Elise was talking about, would make better sight line because he can't get right on the curve. But obviously that never worked out.
Oh.
Mark, did we check the land plots and stuff to see if Markel actually had title on this property?
In the title research, yes, because Haller and Sage is handling the title research. So
Yeah, I think
they wrote the contract and did all the title research on both properties.
that's why this has come up, because they did the research and now they found out they own this piece.
And
Like
mainly it's really designed to hold a few cars if you're coming in the back end, probably to do maintenance and stuff. I don't see it as ever being a big parking area or anything. It's like Public Works had to pull off there to go in and cut down a tree, they could.
I mean, maybe in the winter they could store snow there. I don't know.
They always need places to put snow.
It's a very small piece of property.
How valuable they're.
So we've been told, and the attorneys have told us they own this property, they want to donate it to us. Okay.
Also, there's no hindrance on the property, no covenants. So if we ever decide we wanted to sell it to one of the neighbors, we could.
So we're not totally sure what we would do with it.
No, at this moment, we are not positive of how it would be used.
And if this is done with and through the Trust for Public Land, we have no idea if we could ever sell it to a neighbor if it ended up just being.
No, they're donating it to the town, not to Trust for Public Land.
Why it's going through, no, it is going through the Trust for Public Land, correct?
Oh, now they're getting.
So
Actually,
why are they involved?
Yeah.
Yeah, it says with the certain donation agreement between the Trust for Public Lands and the Town of Columbia.
Yeah.
Just for
They're all-
public lands, they're not donating us anything.
They're just saying they're in the process of this whole closing, so they're fine with us owning it.
That
They
isn't
don't
how
want, they don't want it,
Yeah, they don't want it because it's not contiguous.
right?
This isn't contiguous to the 300 acres?
Correct.
Then I don't understand if they want to donate it to the town. I don't understand why the Trust for Public Land is even named in this. Just saying.
Because the Trust for Public Land is in the process of buying all Markel's properties.
I do understand that.
And at the last minute, Markel said, well, this isn't one of our pieces. You got to take this too. I'm not sure exactly what happened. I talked to people in trust and they had no desire to have anything to do with it. So I think this is the solution. They want to give it away.
Huh.
So it's actually coming from the trust to the town.
Well, in the closing, it'll go from Marcal to the town.
Okay. Yeah, because the trust doesn't own it yet. So this will,
Okay, so I get it. Now I understand.
Anybody else?
It just isn't clear what we're gonna do with this. I mean, it's nice, always nice to have land.
Probably nothing.
Then why do we want to take it?
'Cause it could have a possible use in the future.
But we're not sure yet.
and if not, we could always end up donating to the horse farm there because they could probably use space.
Yeah. So it really wouldn't cost, I mean, there wouldn't be, and is there any cost with this? There's always cost with things, but even if they're free. Is there any cost?
Oh, just the legal cost of writing the
Do the
donation agreement.
Yeah. Unless we were to do something there to do something with the land.
You think Judy could do something about her cannabis so she doesn't have it left hanging? All you have to do is reposition. You could
What did you say? I
don't know. It doesn't matter, Judy. I don't think they were part of the board. I think they just have their phone off of mute or their thing off of mute. So
oh. Okay.
any more? So there's a motion on the floor. If you want the property, vote yes. If you don't, vote, or to move forward on this, vote yes. If you don't, vote no. All those in favor, Bill,
I have to abstain.
Lisa,
Yes.
Judy,
I don't know. I feel like I don't have enough information to know why we're doing this.
Rob,
Yes.
I vote yes. 3-1-1, or 3-0-2 passes, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you. Move it forward. Appointments and resignations. Appointment of Heather Kaperovich for the Recreation Commission. I do not know this young lady.
Mark Voles is on the meeting. If you want him to speak to her.
No, hold on.
Okay.
Let's see. Came from,
Yeah, she'll be taking over for Brian Peterson's position in the vacant position on rec.
okay. Well, if any board, I don't need to hear from Mark. He nominated her, so I make a motion that we appoint Heather Kukarovic to the Recreation Commission starting May 5th, 2020, with a term to expire 11/27/23. If anybody wants to hear from Mark, they can ask. Any discussion? Hearing none. Bill?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
I vote yes. Thank you. Town administrators report.
We've been very busy with emergency COVID-19 operations. I can report that we've been distributing quite a few meals. We've had a great team of volunteers that are helping Bernadette, including Mark Volza in our rec department, other volunteers, and donations have been coming in real well as well. Even just got a sizable donation of $5,000 from a resident. So that's helping a great deal with purchasing, debit cards for residents that need specific needs and buying things. And you can see Jerry's report that I included. It shows every day the meetings were on. Did someone have a question?
No.
Okay. And we've been picking up personal protection equipment from our emergency management drop-off point of Mohegan Sun. We were able to supply the school with masks, and then they actually got some masks themselves. The town has bought some masks. We were able to get quite a bit of equipment for the registrars in case the August primary actually happens. Protective shields, protective suits, masks, gloves, and more sanitizer. So we feel we're prepared. One challenge has been at the transfer station with some of the residents not being comfortable that everyone doesn't have a mask on. So we just made another sign that'll go up tomorrow saying, please, for the protection of your fellow residents, wear a mask. And we're encouraging everybody to continue with the 6-foot rule. And right now, as of today, the executive order from the governor closed school throughout the end of the year. So we will not be reopening before the summer. And then also businesses, and we had quite a few sign up for protective masks that we picked up, and Jerry James and his wife delivered to the local businesses of Columbia today. So that was a great help, and I appreciate it. Plus, Public Works through Bud Myers has been helping create, get ready for the reopening of certain aspects of our town hall and our library by creating protective shields to protect the employees from a possible someone in the public that might have COVID. So those shields have started to go up, and we're getting ready to have a slow reentry of the public into our normal town life. And
And the sign up for?
what's that?
Somebody has their mic open. That's all right.
Maybe Bev, you could close down any mics that's not the board if you're still here. Thanks. And then the next thing to just give you a heads up on is we have 2 eagle chicks in the nest at Columbia Lake. So they had a good year, and I guess Bert and Harry are the names of the mother and father. Plus the lake is 5 inches over the top of the spillway right now. So we're trying to address that as well. So we have more water than we know what to do with. That's all I have, Stephen.
Thank you. Correspondence, this is a copy of the beach and the transfer station mail that's going out or has gone out. I haven't seen it yet. Here is a budget mailer letting people know how to, or what's going on with the budget, what we're looking at.
Can I offer a suggestion on that? You talk about the transfer out of the general fund balance. Maybe put in details of what the general fund balance is, so that a lot of people might not understand that 438. It's still still will have a very nice fund balance.
What we could do is make that part of our public hearing presentation, Lisa. That would
Okay.
help.
That,
Okay.
I just think it's worth noting.
That's a good idea.
This is, I think this 5-pack does this up, right?
Mhm.
It's their public hearing, but I give a presentation and so does the superintendent.
Yeah, no, but who designs the mailer?
Beverly and Ernie.
Okay, 5-pack. So, okay. And you'll also see a copy of the town administrator's newsletter for May, put together by Jen. Does an amazing job, thank you. Budget, we have transfers.
And Stephen, to be fair, Beverly and Ernie, but I'm involved in looking at it and improving it as well. So
Fine.
it's a team effort.
I'm just saying that because they for next year, maybe they can be notified or to put that in, so.
Okay.
Transfers. Transfer of $618. I make a motion that we authorize a transfer of $618 from general supplies, professional improvement, conferences and seminars to postage. And this is to cover unbudgeted costs of 2 boxes of stamped envelopes requested by the tax collector. This just because of this year, or? Because we just cut 1,000 out of our postage, and a little concerns me a little.
May I speak?
Please, Beth.
The postage was from a different department. It's not in the overall postage, so we're not concerned about that. That was in the land use department. The envelopes are for Carol in case she needs to send more mailings out because of the COVID. She wants to be able to send out bills and letters and everything. She's anticipating an increase in requests that she has to mail.
Okay, thank you. I make a motion, I made a motion. Anybody, anything? All those in favor, Bill,
Yes.
Lisa,
Yes,
Judy,
Yes,
Rob?
Yes,
I vote yes, 5-0. So, thank you. And I make a motion, we authorize the transfer of $1,000 for the salaries of public works overtime to salaries transfer station overtime for this year. Pretty self-explanatory, cover the cost of overage at the transfer station. So, any discussion? All those in favor, Bill,
Yes.
Lisa,
yes.
Judy,
yes.
Rob?
yes.
Steve, and I vote yes. Thank you. No refunds?
Correct, none.
Okay. Bills. I make a motion, we pay bills in the amount of $32,796.78 listed here.
I just had one question as to what the summer catalog was. From the Hartford Post something. Hartford Postmaster, maybe?
I imagine if the summer catalog, it's the rec
Yeah,
Yes,
catalog.
it's the rec
Okay.
catalog sponsored through the Chronicle.
Gotcha.
And I see that the softball field line is on here, and if you haven't seen it, it's very nice. It's up.
Oh, good. I haven't gone down yet.
Motion's on the floor. Any discussion? Any more?
Mm-mm.
All those in favor of paying the bills, Bill,
Yes.
Lisa,
Yes,
Judy,
Yes,
Rob?
Yes,
Stephen, I vote yes. Okay, let's see, wonderful, anything else? Thank you, audience of citizens. I'll look for hands.
I'd like to say something.
I'll get to board members in a
Oh,
minute.
audiences, oh, sorry. Sorry.
I don't see any hand. Oh, I see a hand. Ann Dunick, please. Ann Dunick, just state your name and address and let us know what's going on, Ann.
Ann Dunick, 103 Lake Road. I just wanted to comment on the piece of property that the Markel people wish to donate. And I think that that piece of property will be very important as an alternate entrance to the state park and a place where you could create parking for a couple of cars. At the moment, the only parking we have for the state park is on Hunt Road, which is quite a long hike if you want to go to Overlander. Overlander, I'd like to remind you, has no parking. And so I feel that this property is very important, as will other properties as they come up. Also, item 2, did you not add something to the agenda about,
Sorry, can you repeat that, please?
did you not add something to the agenda?
No, Ann, because the agenda was already published, and I'll answer you, I had to make a motion to try and add something, and the motion was defeated, so we're not able to add it. So we'll get it to next time.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other hands? Seeing none, thank you. Board member comments. Judy, go ahead.
Yeah, I just, I mean, I think that the things you added are really important. I just would like, I'd like to know, have some idea of what we're talking about it before the meeting so that I can kind of, digest it and understand more rather than just bring it up at the meeting and then having to make a decision when I'm not sure. So I guess I'm just saying it's just hard to make a decision that quickly because these are very important topics. So.
Thank you. Anybody else? Great, I know it didn't go smoothly. I'll make a comment. I know it didn't go smoothly with the Zoom and everything, but I do appreciate everybody's understanding during these very difficult coronavirus times. It's difficult to put the meetings together, and technology doesn't help sometimes. So thank you for your understanding. At this time, I make a motion to adjourn the meeting at, let me see, 7:35. All those in favor? Bill?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Stephen, and I vote yes. Good night, everybody. Thank you all.
Good
for attending.
Good night.
Okay.